Hello, this is Chris, and this is my audition for Animalguy001's Top 15 Nintendo 64 Games list. The game I'm going to be talking about is WWF No Mercy. Now, people may not know this, but professional wrestling was popular in the 90s, and this game was the epitome of that decade for pro wrestling. Considered by many pro wrestling fans to be one of, if not the, best wrestling game ever, that accolade can be debated. But there's no doubt that No Mercy is the best wrestling game for the N64 in the United States. This game, along with WWF WrestleMania 2000, as well as the WCW games, were developed by Aki, aka whatever, who released this engine in Japan as part of their Virtual Pro Wrestling series. They eventually ported this engine to the US under the WCW and WWF licenses, with each continuing game being better and better. And there would never be a game like it ever again. Never ever. To start off, this game has a unique story mode in which, in order to gain 100% completion for each storyline in which you compete for different titles, you have to both win and lose matches thanks to the branching storylines. Every story is unique to their own title, and not only do you have a story when trying to win the title, but you also have a champion story where you're defending your title. You can recreate actual storylines by playing as specific wrestlers in specific stories, like Mick Foley vs. Triple H, Stone Cold vs. Mr. McMahon in the WWF Championship storyline, and more. No Mercy also offers one of the better create a character modes in any game, with the ability to create 4 different outfits for one character, or even one slot for 4 different characters, the only limit being that all of the characters would share the same moves. You have plenty of appearance customization options, which is always a big plus. Although not as detailed as future games, you have a variety of items to choose from, plus unlocking through the SmackDown Mall, where you take the money you've won from matches and buy new items, moves, arenas, weapons, and more. Speaking of the moves, you have almost an entire library of wrestling moves to choose from to customize your character, with moves borrowed from previous wrestling games featuring the World Wrestling Federation and World Championship Wrestling. There are even original moves thrown in, at least original in terms of the US Aki games. You have a variety of game modes to choose from your basic one-on-one, tag team, to steel cage, ladder match, special referee, King of the Ring mode, and even making your own pay-per-view. And, well, yeah, special referee is kind of a big deal. I don't really be able to disqualify them. Whatever. The graphics are, well, they're pretty okay for the N64. The environments can look pretty good for the different arenas they're trying to portray, but although some of the character models can be good, some of them, they look about as good as the debut of the Shockmaster. He's fat! You have a lot of controls to use in this game, using the A button for grappling, B for striking, L and R for your defense, and the C buttons for whatever miscellaneous action is available. You use the control stick mostly to taunt your opponent and build up your special meter. The more red the meter turns, thanks to taunts and successful attacks, the more sooner you'll be able to use your finishing maneuver. But if you let it turn blue, not only are you getting your ass kicked, you'll be suspect to critical damage as well as being knocked out if that setting is on. To use your finishers, you need to know which situations you have a finisher for. All wrestlers have front and back finishers, but some have special finishers for a variety of situations. For high flyers like Jeff Hardy or Eddie Guerrero, most likely you'll do a finisher off the top rope. Technical wrestlers like Chris Jericho or Kurt Angle would have a finisher while the opponent is grounded. Basically, you just have to know the wrestler and their finishers, which is as easy as going to edit mode and looking at their moves. One special tidbit that I have to mention, which is heavily demanded by fans with each new WWE game, is to include the ability to travel backstage during a match. In almost all match types, all the competitors can actually fight backstage, from the hallway linking into other rooms, the parking lot, the bar, the locker room, and the boiler room. Now, some people may look at this and think, what makes this game so special that it should be on the list? It just sounds like a wrestling game people liked. Well, how about the fact that, to this day, people are still making mods with the Aki engine? That's right, people continue to make mods with the Aki engine, mainly to include the WWE wrestlers of now in the game, as well as TNA wrestling, indie promotions, and more. If WWF No Mercy has that much lasting power, then it definitely deserves a spot on the list.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking. WWF No Mercy.